The views expressed in this podcast do not represent the opinions or ideas of Radio St. Rose or the College of St. Rose.
Hi, I'm Alan Hills, and welcome to the College of St. Rose's movie review and discussion podcast series, Cutting to the Chase, brought to you by the Campus Radio Club, Radio St. Rose. So for this episode, I'm going to do something entirely different and not just review one movie. I want to talk about music in movies. To be more specific, I want to discuss this year's Oscar nominees for Best Original Song at the 91st Academy Awards. I wanted to make it about that since I have a guest with me right now. She's a music industry major here at St. Rose with a concentration in voice, and she's a very active R&B artist. She's got some music coming out, which she's going to talk about in a moment. She is Kyla Silk. Kyla, thank you so much for being here right now.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. So tell me a little bit about your upcoming music and what you've been doing lately. You were just talking to me about it like right before it.
Yeah, so right now I'm collaborating in affiliation with Rose record label to release a single April 20th. It's called Gone. We're actually going to be recording right after I get done with this. And it's super exciting. I've been performing for a really long time now. I'm from Long Island, so I've been gigging a lot throughout there. And since coming in St. Rose, I've been more active with, reaching out with other artists and stuff like that. So, so I'm going to be releasing a single with Rose record label called Gone. It's going to be released April 20th. I'm super excited about it. And I have an EP coming out shortly after.
Nice.
With some original music. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. The other day you sent me a private demo of your song Inspiration, which is a song that I love. I mean, it's totally my kind of music.
Yeah.
It's been stuck in my head. It's
Thank
so good.
you.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that? How did you write that? How did you come up with it or whatever as the type of musician you are?
So I collaborated with Pink Noise. He's another artist.
Yeah, he's good.
In affiliation with the record label. He's fantastic. And so we co-wrote that song together, and it really, I can't even explain. I have voice memos and I have different recordings of, writing the song, and it's really cool to watch back. I think even more now it fits what I'm trying to do and the lifestyle and the way that I'm trying to put myself forward. It just shows positive energy, and I love to write kind of music that makes people feel good. That's just enjoyable and chill. So that's how my music is, and I'm really excited to do some crossover stuff and work with different types of genres and collaborate with different artists. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. We really need a lot more positivity in this day and age, especially through music. So, yeah, I really like how you do that. I can't wait to hear more of it.
Thank you.
So, yeah, since I was having you on this podcast, I really wanted to expand the topic and, the Oscar nominees for Best Original Song, because I thought that, this year was like a little more exciting than most. I mean,
For sure.
Some Oscars are a little slow with Best Original Songs. Like there's only 2 or 3 nominees and you don't really know the songs. But like this year was like pretty exciting, and, we'll save the winner for last. I mean, everyone knows what the winner is, but
Yeah.
But I'm going to start a little bit in alphabetical order since I know all of them and I've seen all the movies. So yeah,
Sure.
The first on the list alphabetically is All the Stars by Kendrick Lamar and SZA from Black Panther, which is a pretty cool song, I think.
Oh,
It
it's
really,
fantastic.
It's such a good song. I mean, it so effectively conveys the emotions of the movie and the occurrences of the movie. What are your thoughts on that song?
Yeah, I think that the ambience and the style of the song, Kendrick is just a fantastic lyricist.
Yeah, he's a poet. He really is.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and SZA and everybody too. It's different from what I usually listen to, but Kendrick has a way to spice up the modern day music. He's always bringing something new to the table.
Yeah, that's true.
So I love that song a lot. All the Stars.
I know, it's a good song. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, you're right. He is very artistic in that way. He even collaborated with you too recently on their new album, Songs of Experience. I don't think you can hear him much, but I know he was involved somehow.
Yeah. Kendrick is definitely the poet of our day and age, for sure.
He is. Yeah, and the cool thing is, have you heard of SPAC? You heard of SPAC, Saratoga Performing Arts Center? I worked there over the summer for Live Nation. We had Kendrick Lamar stop by. It was one of our biggest shows,
Really?
Almost sold out. Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
it was really cool. I didn't see the show, but I heard in the news that his encore after getting a standing ovation was All the Stars. And apparently it was really good. I don't think SZA was there. It went very well with the end credits too. I like MCU end credits a lot, but the hype and the upbeat nature of the music during the end credits as they're showing all the characters as if they're wearing the Black Panther armor. That was very cool, and you felt kind of like, happy, and you could feel the triumph.
You felt like you were kind of inside the movie with them.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I know. Yeah, you really did. So, yeah.
I feel like the soundtracks that go with a movie really can make or break the movie. The whole emotion and how you feel when you're being taken into it and through it, and even from the beginning credits to the very end.
Yeah.
So I think that the choice for Kendrick's song to be placed at the end of that, toward the credits of the movie, it was a fantastic choice.
Yeah, it really was the perfect choice because there were a couple other hits from that soundtrack, which were good songs, but I don't think they would have worked as well in the end credits. Like, what's the other one that he did with The Weeknd, the one they play on the radio all the time? Pray For Me?
Yes.
Pray For Me, that's another good one. That's a great song. It was in the casino scene, but it just wouldn't have worked as well in the end credits,
Yeah.
And the thing is, very few movie soundtracks that feature pop artists are that successful. Kendrick Lamar did like half the soundtrack for, Black Panther, the album, and it was a huge success. And that's a rarity in this day and age.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
I agree with you completely.
But yeah, All the Stars, great song. I'll be listening to it for years to come. And so the next one is a pretty big hit. It was performed at the Oscars. They made a really big deal about it. The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins Returns.
Emily Blunt.
Yes.
She's fantastic. I was very surprised to see her performance and everything. I've seen her in Into the Woods, of course. But she really, I loved that movie.
I still need to see it. I never saw it for some reason. Everyone talks about it.
It was great. It was very different. I love how they're bringing back all the Disney movies and stuff now.
Yeah.
And bringing them back in a way that, I guess, keeps the imagination alive.
Yeah.
But in a modern day twist, We
Yeah.
have so many new advances in cinematography and what they're able to do with, the animation side of it.
Yeah.
So it was super cool.
It is the most heartfelt song in the movie, because, the kids in the movie, they lost their mother, and for that reason, it is somewhat the saddest song in the movie, but the most heartfelt, where all the other songs are a little more joyous, wouldn't you say?
Sure. Yeah. I feel like all movies need to have that little heart-wrenching, introspective type of song. So this was a perfect song to nominate.
Yeah, it was. And going back to the point of Emily Blunt, she was fantastic. And while we're on that subject, what'd you think of Bette Midler at the Oscars?
Oh my God, Bette Midler at the Oscars. I mean,
singing that song. I thought Emily Blunt was better personally, but she performed it instead of Emily Blunt, and I wasn't a big fan personally because she doesn't have the same kind of, training that Emily Blunt had for the movie. I mean, she sang just like, Julie Andrews did, and Bette Midler wasn't very replicant of that in her performance, but the main reason I think Emily Blunt didn't perform was because, she wasn't nominated, and, a few years ago, her husband wasn't nominated for A Quiet Place, so I don't think they're going to be good to the people at the Oscars in that way. I was talking to my friend on an episode. Jackson Murphy? He's a very famous film critic. He goes to St. Rose. He's a good friend of mine. We were doing a podcast on Green Book and, certain things going on at the Oscars, and we were talking about Bette Midler and why Emily Blunt didn't perform, and that was his opinion because, they're getting snubbed all the time. Why would she do this favor for them when they don't get any recognition, you know?
Yeah. I find it interesting because I didn't really know I didn't know that I think Emily Blunt is primarily an actress, and she does some of the singing things more supplemental.
Yeah.
And so I find it interesting to hear her timbre and her sound as opposed to Bette Midler, who is somebody that has been in the industry and been on Broadway and things like that for years, right?
Yeah, no, that is very true. Emily Blunt is primarily an actress where, Bette Midler, she's very flamboyant that way. She loves to sing.
She's very versatile.
She loves to perform, yeah. But in a way, I think Emily Blunt was, better because, her voice was replicant to the way Julie Andrews sang all the songs in the first Mary Poppins. So in that sense, I was a little disappointed. But still, beautiful song, great movie. And you saw Mary Poppins Returns, right?
Sure.
It was... I loved it so much. And the thing is, I was so skeptical of it for a long time, but all my friends were saying nothing but great things about it. So I did episodes and reviews on it, and I'm glad that I saw it. It was a beautiful movie.
Yeah, definitely different from the original, complete turnover.
Yeah.
But it was really greatly rebooted, reamped.
Maybe continued, but I get your point. But and I loved Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my God,
he was
is
so
absolutely
excellent.
Fantastic. He is one of those actors, one of those just I don't even know what the proper term would be for him. He is just an all-around fantastic entrepreneur, just fantastic entrepreneur and actor, writer. He does it all.
Yeah.
He wears many different hats, so it's super entertaining to watch him.
Yeah.
In Hamilton, he was in Hamilton. He
Yeah.
was the lead in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And in The Heights, he's absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge fan of him.
I know. He is by far one of the most talented performers I've ever seen. I really think Triple Little Light Fantastic was like my favorite part in that movie with all the dancing.
Yes, he really brought the show to life because Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a little worried at first when I was hearing, about Mary Poppins being redone.
Yeah.
Because Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews are really hard people to come after, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, they are.
And they're a great duo.
Yeah.
But Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda did a fantastic job replicating.
I know, yeah, it was quite amazing. Of course, I grew up with the original as a kid. I loved it. But, of course, the chimney sweeper part, where they're all dancing, that was my favorite part. But the fact, that they did something kind of new in the second one by upping it a little more, in a sense, they kind of made... The thing is, like with older musicals, they don't really focus on the beauty of their environments a lot. But I think in Mary Poppins Returns, they really took that to their advantage, which was how they made it, a little better than the original in a sense. But even though the original is unbeatable, they really created a beautiful spectacle with this new number that they did in Triple Little Light Fantastic. So that really blew me away. It was so fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
But I'm glad they nominated The Place Where Lost Things Go because Mary Poppins Returns deserves recognition. So I'm glad that they did that.
For sure.
So the next Oscar nominee for Best Original Song is called When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings. It's from The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which is a Western anthology film, and it was sung by the actors Willie Watson and Tim Blake Nelson. Did you see that film at all, Buster Scruggs?
No, I never seen that one.
It's a Netflix original film directed by the Coen brothers.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with the Coen brothers.
Yeah, the movie is very Coen brothers, and they tell 6 different stories throughout the movie. So there's like 6 different stories going on, and it's a pretty masterful Western. I mean, it really holds back on the comedy, and it really displays more of that, Coen brothers darkness as they discuss, dark themes and certain storylines and, stuff like that. I have friends who are like way bigger fans of this movie than I am, but it is a really uniquely directed movie. And When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, it's a pretty heartfelt song, too, because the gunfighter in the beginning, Buster Scruggs, played by Tim Blake Nelson, gets killed. In the end of his story, he gets killed. And, the song, When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, it kind of reflects how, only in death can men really accept each other and not want to, fight to the death, hence the title of the song. But if you haven't heard the song, you should definitely check it out. Are you one for, like, country music at all?
Yeah, I'm actually I dabble with country music. My dad's a lot more of a country fan than I am, but I listen to all types of music, so I'll definitely have to check that song out. I love a good country song.
I know. Years ago, I played guitar. That was like when I was around 6. I haven't really done it 6, but I really feel this urge in me to like really learn guitar again and just write country songs because I love the emotion of them. And
oh, for sure. Country has a way of telling a story that not a lot of other genres can.
Yeah, I know. There's so many bands and singers I love. Like Zach Brown Band, Tim McGraw.
Oh, yeah. Brad Paisley. Have you ever
Yes,
listened to
Brad Paisley. He's great.
He's really great. He's a great writer.
Yeah, he
Carrie
is.
Underwood is fantastic as
Carrie
well.
Underwood. Yeah, I know. She's been around for a long time. I remember when she won American Idol 15
me
years
too.
ago.
I know.
It's pretty insane, but yeah. And I'm sure you know Kiefer Sutherland, right?
No.
He was in that show 24. He's
I
Donald
know the
Sutherland's
show
son.
24.
Yeah, he has actually become a very successful country singer. I mean, his style is really like, kind of like very emotional, gritty, old school country, and his songs are just like so well written.
Oh, that's dope. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, his friend is a famous producer named Jude Cole. He's produced bands such as Lifehouse, and he's been helping him out a lot with that. Yeah.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, Lifehouse was one of my favorite bands growing up, so it makes sense that the music is catchy, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, Buster Scruggs is now one of my favorite movies. It is very dark in that Coen Brothers way, but still, When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, it really is that emotional, heartfelt country song. In fact, it was written by 2 people named David Rawlings and Gillian Welch, who were a big duo in the 90s. They wrote a lot of country that was like, dark Americana or dark bluegrass, that really resembled those emotions or feelings. But
yeah.
But then again, it goes against the kind of, happy and positive music that you want to produce. So it's not like we need that kind of thing every day.
Yeah, but there's always the thing that I find super fantastic and the reason why I love music so much is that there's a way to bring community through music and to like allow people of all different walks of life, all different situations to find a middle ground. in relation, in relating to each other. And so I think that, all appreciating all different types of genres of music just expands your ability to connect with others.
Yeah, and it's great that you said that, because that's what the song is all about. When a cowboy trades his spurs for wings, it's sad, but that only in death can men accept each other. But the song is all about, finding that middle ground, through peace and acceptance, So it is good that you said that, because the song really reflects that very well. I
think now more than ever in the political climate that we're in like social and economical climates that we're in right now, specifically social topics that are going on.
Yeah.
I think that it's super important for people to empathize with each other.
Yeah.
And so I think that song, from what you're telling me, I couldn't think of a better nominee.
I totally get your point, and it kind of relates to, All the Stars in that sense. I talked about that song very briefly in the beginning. I want to go back to that a little bit. And I think All the Stars, reflects, T'Challa's motivations in the film. And, through his ruling of Wakanda, he has to find, some kind of middle ground. I definitely think When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings is more emotional, but All the Stars is a little more upbeat in that sense, because, T'Challa's, discoveries of what he needs to do is they're a little more upbeat in that sense. We can feel the positivity and the energy of the lyrics and the beat of that song, because you can feel those. Do you know what I mean? Am I rambling?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, All the Stars is a little more upbeat and happy about it, where When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings is, more emotional.
It's more heartfelt.
Yeah, you got the happy one and you got the heartfelt one. But it's that equality that we're talking of here. You got to find a middle ground. You need that variety. But yeah, it's just such an exciting year for Best Original Song nominees. And I guess we'll move on to the final one now, since we could talk about this one forever. Shallow. I'm so happy that song won. And Star is Born is such an incredible movie.
I think it was a complete shoo-in. I didn't see any other reason for it to not get chosen.
I know. Yeah. And did you see the Oscars at all?
Yes, I watched a little. I watched this section. I watched it that when the Shallows got nominated, when they won the award.
Did you see where? I'm sorry, we
the performance. I seen the performance. And stuff too.
That was the highlight of the night for me, and especially the way that they filmed it. They filmed it on the stage so that the audience could see them, kind of like how they filmed it in the movie.
Interacting each other.
Yeah.
What I really admire about Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper is their way that they're able to show such chemistry.
Yeah.
With each other. And I know, I don't know if you've been hearing, all the buzz about, allegedly that they're together or in love and things like that.
Yeah, that's probably not true.
But I find it super funny because, you don't see it too much, but the best performers are the ones that can really, show you the emotion through the song, through everything. And I think that Lady Gaga does a fantastic job, to a point where people are questioning if she's in love with Bradley Cooper or not, of conveying a song. And I think if it wasn't for that this could have just been any other song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Their chemistry is very good. And when a singer usually makes that transition from music to acting, they often get butchered. 15 years ago when Mark Wahlberg was considering being a serious actor, I mean, he got, butchered in the media.
Sure.
And they didn't even take him seriously until he was in The Departed in 2006. But Lady Gaga being in this movie, they instantly accepted her, and you wouldn't think that she had that kind of chemistry with Bradley Cooper, because that's in a way that's unheard of, because they're in totally separate professions. But they were amazing in this movie, and I totally think that they got snubbed with their nominations. They didn't win the awards, although other great actors and actresses won the awards, but I think they should have won, because I love the movie so much. I resonate with it a lot, especially since Live Nation Productions produced it.
Sure.
I work at SPAC seasonally, and whenever they're on stage, I feel like I'm in a concert. I mean, they somehow captured the realism of a show going on and that lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is quite amazing. But yeah, I mean, Shallow is it's such a beautifully written song. What are your opinions on Shallow? I mean, it's really deep. There's so much going on in the lyrics.
Yeah, I think when I first heard the song, I really liked it. I think after hearing it so many times, I've kind of gotten a little exhausted by it. But I think honestly, I think it's beautifully written. I think it's a great song, a great duet, and Bradley Cooper sounds amazing on it. I never knew that he could actually sing. He's so good.
I know.
He's so good.
Such a good country singer. I never would have thought,
Yeah.
like you just said, that he would be a great singer. But yeah,
With
but
Lady Gaga, I'm not very surprised.
well, no, yeah, I'm just more surprised that she's a great actress, you know?
Yeah,
But
she really is, and I think it shows in her performances. People that are usually like able to animate and stuff through their music videos, like Lady Gaga has such a history with her super extravagant costumes and stunts that she pulls in her music videos and on the red carpets and things like that. So I think that it was just a matter of if she could really pull off a good movie, you know. I know that there's like Cher gets a lot of there's a lot of things about Cher being in the acting biz, and I mean, I'm not gonna throw any tear shade on my queen Cher, but like I think that Lady Gaga kind of showed that there are actors there. I mean, that there are musicians that are able to not only convey a really, really good performance through their music, but they can do it without it too.
Yeah, no, yeah, they totally can. She really did a great job of this movie. Go with the subject of Cher. Does she get criticism? Because I'm surprised.
Yeah, for when she did the Mamma Mia movie, Here We Go Again, the second one. And there was a lot of backlash, not backlash, but a lot of like buzz because, you know, Cher was going to be on it. And I hope this isn't a spoiler alert, but Meryl Streep was only in 2 minutes of it and Cher was in the entire movie. So, which was really funny to me. She was pretty good. I mean, I'm not an actor critic, you know. I wouldn't know too much, but I think for it would make no sense for Lady Gaga or Cher not to be in a musical movie, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I know it's amazing that she got more screen time than Meryl Streep, but I think it's unfair to criticize Cher because she's both a great actress and a great singer. And you know, in fact, I think her best movie personally is where she is not musically involved at all. It's 1987, Moonstruck. Have you seen that movie?
Oh no, but I've heard of it.
Highly acclaimed, hilarious movie. It's an Italian-American comedy, which I would totally understand since I am half Italian-American.
Sure.
So, but yeah, and Nicolas Cage is in it too.
Oh my God.
But Cher is awesome in that.
And I don't Cher's a queen.
I don't know if she's Italian-American in real life. Maybe she is, but she played a convincing one, and I think the criticism is, you know, kind of unfair. And for that reason, I'm surprised that, you know, Lady Gaga was instantly accepted. Good for her. You know, it's amazing because the media just criticizes people way too much a lot of the time, like to the point where it's unfair.
Yeah. I find it interesting when people start to cross boundaries or cross lines with you know, exploring different parts of the arts, whether it's dance or whether it's acting or whether it's going into music or things like that. And like even Beyonce had, I know that she had some backlash with acting and things like that. I don't see it too much. I don't see too much that there are actors that go into music. I see it more the other way around, music going into acting or actors that are musicians anyway.
Right.
But I think it's really cool to expand and to be able to say that you've worn those many hats. It's just building up portfolio. Good for them. You know, who are we to criticize them? They've got more money than we do, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm in film and new media, which is where you learn to produce films and make films and create content. And, you know, I appreciate A Star is Born for that reason. It's so beautifully made. And Shallow's a great song. And, you know, going back to how the performance was filmed at the Oscars, it was filmed on the stage so you could see the audience similar to the movie. That kind of shot is called, you know, a one-take shot or something like that. But it was filmed entirely in one take with that camera. And the fact that they were able to make it, you know, so powerful was, you know, pretty revolutionary. You know, that's why it was the highlight of the night for me. The way they performed at the Oscars was, you know, just as emotional as, you know, the movie, because that's one of the only, you know, positive moments of the movie, because things kind of go downhill for them from there. But it's still a beautiful story.
Definitely.
Great movie. Did you see it in the theater? Because I didn't.
I watched it like on my computer.
Yeah,
but
same.
my family, a bunch of my friends and family went to go see it in the theater. They said it was absolutely amazing. I've only heard good things about this movie.
It would have been great if it won Best Picture. There were a lot of big competitors this year, but yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite.
Who won Best Picture?
Green Book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a podcast on Green Book a couple weeks ago with my friend, Jackson Murphy. He's a very famous film critic. He studies communications here at St. Rose. Green Book is a good movie, but it has very simplistic production values compared to the other nominees, like, you know, A Star is Born, you know, or Black Panther, you know, very grand movies with very epic scale.
For sure.
So I was surprised that it won Best Picture, but then again, it was a very competitive year. But A Star is Born, you know, will always be one of my favorite movies, and, you know, I'm glad that Shallow was nominated. And it was a very exciting year for Best Original Song nominees, and I'm really glad we touched base on all of them. Like, which ones do you like the most? Like, now we can discuss like why we like some more than others. I think that would be good to fill in the time.
I think honestly, I prefer the song. I forget. The one from Mary Poppins.
The Place Where Lost Things Go, yeah.
Yes, because I do really love, for me, it's just super nostalgic. Like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I love musicals, and I'm always going to be a huge sucker for musicals. So for me, that song is really nice. For a song to, you know, play on the radio, to chill with friends, All the Stars is, you know, it's that it can't be beat.
Yeah.
The Kendrick song. Kendrick is always going to be my number one.
Yeah.
And I do like The Shallows. I hear it a lot in the dining hall. So, you know, I don't really need to get an extra fill of it. But what do you think?
Well, yeah, I agree with your point there. And I think it really depends on, you know, what you're in the mood for. Sometimes you want to feel more heartfelt with The Place Where Lost Things Go. But when you want to have fun with your friends, let's crank All the Stars.
Oh, sure.
You know? But
I think that rap and hip hop is really in right now.
It is.
And it's only going to continue to get bigger.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great thing. Mm-hmm. So I guess pop is always gonna be it's always gonna be number one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So All the Shallows was for sure gonna win. I think All the Stars would have been my second bet.
Yeah, it probably would have been my second bet too. And to answer your question on which I prefer, I don't really know. It really like depends on the mood. I think I might like All the Stars the most because it's really triumphant. And by the way, I am a huge MCU aficionado. As a filmmaker, those movies have had a huge influence on me because they've reminded me that superhero movies can still be good and that movies in general can still be good. And they're very creative with their movies, especially
superhero movies are so fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not really like a movie connoisseur, but I've recently I've started watching more like Marvel movies and like things like that. Yeah. And they're so fun because they bring the elements of like action and comedy.
Yeah.
They also have a love storyline. Like, it's very interesting, I think, for anybody that could watch it. And I'm more of a person that's into like romance movies, comedy. I'm a big person into like.
Yeah, I'm kind of into rom-coms too, especially if they're good. A lot of them aren't, but I like some that are like really good.
Sometimes you just gotta watch it for the meme.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably like All the Stars the most. Shallow, a close second. The Place Where Lost Things Go, a close third. And When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, a close fourth. All these songs are very close to each other. It really depends on what I'm in the mood for. But because I'm such a big, you know, like MCU nerd, I'm always gonna go for All the Stars because I love Black Panther. I love, you know, the MCU, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sure.
So yeah, at the end of the day, that's probably, you know, what I would listen to the most. Well, which one of these songs is best written, do you think? I mean, like, what is the most groundbreaking in terms of like the movies they represent? I wonder.
I feel like you would have to look at it objectively, because all of them are such different styles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So they're all going to kind of touch on different things, you know? Like, a pop song is not going to be written the same way that a rap, a rap piece is.
Yeah.
But I think, I honestly think, in my opinion, Shallows was written the best, I think, because it's just very cohesive. To me, I can see a pattern.
Yeah.
I can see like a clear outline and clear timeline of where the song is starting and where it needs to go.
I agree.
And it tells a cohesive story.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, that's the best written song.
Yeah, it's a greatly written song. In my opinion, I think maybe, once again, All the Stars is the best written song because, you know, it represents the entire message of, you know, the movie as a whole and the Black Panther storyline and T'Challa's conflicts and motivations on how he needs to change. So yeah, that's my opinion. But the thing is, you know, all the songs that were nominated this year were great, and I'm really happy we got the chance to discuss it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you again for coming on. This has been awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope to have you on again. This has been great.
Yeah, 100%. You just let me know.
I will. Once again, I'm Alan Hills, and this has been Cutting to the Chase. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in next week. And here's a teaser from Kyla Silk's EP coming in summer 2019. It's called Inspiration, featuring Pink Noise.
I know.